Oh, sorry. I just did not notice. I was asking the admins if we were going to take any other breaks today for our production, and I'm eating a cough drop right now, TJ. So I'm caught with I'm a deer in headlights right now at the moment. I apologize. Welcome back into Hearthstone Grandmasters for Americas. If I am over salivating on all of my on the sentences I say, I apologize ahead of time. But yes, I don't know if we're taking any other breaks today, but we're going to go into our last series of the day, Gallon versus Monsanto. And if you're just tuning in, this will be the losers match will determine who gets the second spot in our top 4 for Sunday.
Yeah, and both these players have very different roads to get here. Monsanto had one of the longest series we've seen earlier in the day, and Gallon had one of the shortest series we've seen right now. And we'll see who's going to be able to come out on top. Gallon, again, I talked about his lineup, and for some reason, I can't pinpoint it. I just like it. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit offbeat, but it's kind of getting the job done. And I want to see if he can take it all the way.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, okay, this is what people are doing. I'm going to go like everyone's going this way. I'm going to go this way. And it feels like that. It's not completely the opposite direction because he still has like some core elements that we know and really like established are really good lineups. So he still has Warrior and Demon Hunter, for example. Those are 2 classes that are still very popular. And even to a certain extent, Rogue being very, very popular. I think the most represented class this week in all of our Swiss tournaments combined for Grandmasters. But it's like the way he's going about it, right? Like his deck lists are a little bit different. His archetypes have some variations, and he's like also bringing the Zoo Warlock, which is like, something that feels particularly good to see because people were saying like Warlock's going to struggle a lot more without Sacrificial Pact, and Demon Hunter's still going to be very good. And yet he's one of the few people kind of showing that Warlock is very powerful still. Despite people kind of having their doubt and skepticism. So I approve also of Gallon's lineup.
Yeah, and he actually is going to get to play that Zoo Warlock that he's talked so highly of to both of us and to a lot of people coming into the week. And in speaking with Gallon, he said that he thinks that the only really bad matchup for Zoo is Warrior. The bad matchup for Zoo is Warrior and Altruist, but Altruist isn't a class, it's a card, so hard to decipher that. I guess just a big Altruist swing turn. But he'll be able to play the Warlock. We'll see if he can, again, like I said earlier, put his money where his mouth is and really show us why he values that deck so highly.
Yeah, I think the Zoo Warlock in particular is very explosive, and part of the reason why I think most people are still on the fence about the deck is because the deck is really hard, like really, really hard. I know it can be simplistic in terms of like if you get the really good hand, you just kind of play, the Scrap Imp and buff your entire hand, or just play something that discards Hand of Gul'dan and just draw a bunch of cards. Those kinds of games are not really the issue. It's more about like when I like make a foundational error in the beginning where like I'm not necessarily taking the right trades or playing the right 1-drops and whatnot. The game just feels completely unwinnable, but it's hard to tell what exactly was the reason, right? So it's like, was it that trade? Was it the attack? Was it the tap? Was it the hold so I can buff more cards in my hand? And there's just a lot of decisions for this deck that have a lot of ripple effects throughout the rest of the game. And so I think the Zoo deck is subtly one of the hardest decks to play right now, even though it feels relatively straightforward and simple when you have those incredible power turns with the Scrap Imp and the Magic Carpets.
Yeah. On our graphic, it showed that Hunter was banned. And it also showed that Gallon's Warrior was banned. What the heck just happened?
Okay, so the bans were indicated they might be incorrect. So apologies.
So ignore my
analysis.
Ignore my analysis. Start from scratch. Throw everything out the window. Let's start over. I'm guessing Gallon's Zoo Warlock was banned?
I would assume so. That's what happened in the previous series.
Yeah, and from Monsanto's side, I'm guessing his warrior was banned. Okay,
Such
I was correct.
Good guesses, TJ. You
Wow,
are
look at
exactly
that.
correct.
Yeah, and I will be honest with everybody. I did guess those bans before I actually heard them. They were confirmed in our ear after I said them.
Well, now that you said it, I was doubting whether or not that was actually the case.
No, it was the case. It was the case.
I know, but if you didn't say that, I wouldn't have assumed it. Now you've planted the idea in my mind that you could have just been told by production.
Yeah. No, Dad, trust me, please. Yeah. Trust me on this one. I'm smart, and I want the world to know it. Yeah. So Monsanto's warrior was banned away from him, and Gallon's Zoo Warlock was banned away from him. So. Wow, Gallon's just not going to get to play Zoo today. Yeah. And we're not going to even get to see it.
No. Yes.
One thing we will get to see, however,
is this giant battle rage. What does it do? Draw a card for each damage-friendly character. Wait, can you hover over battle rage? I just want to see what it does over time.
I can't. It's not me.
No, I'm just trolling. All right, so
I wish it was me.
Second turn here. This is actually a very important turn. I'm sure viewers would appreciate us talking about the game finally. Serpent Egg here is a very good foundational play. I think that I was actually talking about this with a couple of players. I think that I'm starting to feel like Terran Gornfiend is a little bit too situational, and part of the power of this deck is how open it can be. It feels like Terran Gornfiend a lot of times is a 3-mana 3/4. However, a lot of times if you can curve it out with the egg, that might be just enough tempo to like straight up win you the board and consequently win you the game. Particularly if you have a Bloodsworn Mercenary and you can copy Terran Gornfiend after he already had killed an egg. Those kinds of games feel borderline unwinnable for my opponent because it just feels like I have like the stickiest fingers of all the sticky fingers. Because nothing ever dies.
Sticky finger?
Yeah, unless they have Mass Dispel, but it's kind of rare for that to be the case. Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah. The awkward part about this is Monsanto can just play a Serpent Egg, and this imprisoned Felmaw will just attack into a Serpent Egg, most likely. It could go face.
Yeah.
But you could break the eggs for a Gallon.
There's also the hidden play of the Senket Sapper, but I don't think that's the play. The Sapper returns a minion when a random enemy minion when it dies. And if the demon ends up attacking into it, then it will return the 1/1. It doesn't really do anything. So I would assume that Gallon is heavily considering the Terran Gornfiend here to establish most tempo, or just playing one of his 2-drops here and establishing some more board presence.
Yeah, it's going to be a very weird interaction. He could play Terran Gornfiend, and then immediately on Monsanto's turn, his 5/4 Dormant Moon would attack into Terran Gornfiend and spawn the eggs. This could get weird.
Yeah. So there's 3 targets. Or sorry, 2 targets onto the board.
Well, there's 3. The face is a target.
You're right. 3 targets. And he kills a Terran Gornfiend, so the egg comes back. Oh, no.
Monsanto smiles. I think Monsanto doesn't even believe in this deck.
I don't know.
He just cues it first and hope that he scams a win. That's what he does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even really scamming a win. It just kind of pressures everything. And it's not like this deck has a lot of bad matchups that are common. Like, here are some of the bad matchups for Dragon Hunter Coin of Ladder. Totem Shaman, Murloc Paladin. We're not seeing these cards. We're not seeing Stealth Rogue. We're not seeing this kind of archetypes.
Okay, granted, Dan, if you look at the stats, Murloc Paladin is strong against everything. If you look at like H's replay, that's like no bad matchups.
Right. So I'm saying if Dragon Hunter's like some of his worst matchups are against like Murloc Paladin, I think that this deck might have some more legs than we're giving it credit for.
I feel like there's a secret group of Murloc Paladin players that play at times when nobody else is playing and just have like 90% win rates.
Yeah, maybe there's like some kind of secret warring factions going on at like 2 a.m. Pacific.
Just totem
where
shamans
like,
and Murloc
it's the
Paladins.
Murloc Paladins versus like the other gangs that like the Murloc Paladins versus the totem shamans, you know?
Yeah.
Versus the pirate warriors, and it's like all faction based.
And they never play in tournaments because they love Murloc Paladin so much they don't want anybody else to play it. So they don't want people to net deck their Murloc Paladins.
Well, I mean that's what's artificially inflating the win rates is because they're playing all the games and winning.
Oh, Dan, he's drew both Face Stalkers. So this is a guaranteed Stone Tusk Boar.
Oh my goodness. Stone Tusk Boar is a 1-mana 4/4 charger. That's just broken.
I mean, I'll help him trade over this injured Tolvir.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, that is important. Otherwise, the Felwing would have died.
We're going to get a question answered, and that question is, does this deck have legs? And I just don't know yet.
Well, it's definitely got one thing. It's got tusks.
Yep. Sure does. I mean, that's a pretty poor draw.
Well, you can draw a weapon if he gets Anchor. Or Livewire Lance is also very good.
Yeah, if he plays Livewire Lance, then he's taking damage.
Well, he's taking damage no matter what he chooses to do. If he Livewire Lances, he might be able to get the Cobalt Lackey, which would just be the absolute nuts. Chooses to kill off the Felwing and... Oh, he didn't believe! TJ, he didn't believe.
Oof.
Oh no, Monsanto draws a secret. You hate to see it.
Yeah. You hate to see it specifically because the deck only plays 2 secrets. It plays 1 explosive trap and 1 snake trap.
1 secret for 1 stalker.
Yeah. Granted, the Stalker is just kind of the beast. You're more likely to have the Stalker because you have a tutor for it. You have the Scavenger's Ingenuity, so... And you're mulling for Stalkers most of the time, and you're not mulling for traps.
Yeah.
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 Don't titillate me. You know I could do that for a very long time.
Tax into the meh trap.
Meh.
Gallon picks up this Draconic Lackey. Not really that useful. It needs something to set up the taunts, and also, most importantly, he needs a risky skipper. So he's going to go ahead and draw with his Battle Rage.
That's not a risky skipper.
No, that's a Bloodsworn mercenary. More weak cards. Is Gallon in trouble? I think he kind of is.
So he's at 15. If stuff is left on the board, he can Armorsmith and preemptively trade. But that's a very easily playable dragon. So Monsanto can keep this Stormhammer going.
Yeah, we're not at critical ranges yet, but we're rapidly approaching it. This is 7 power presented on the board. Hero power is 9. You're 16, 15 life. Yeah, Gallon desperately needs that risky skipper.
Yep. So some things to think about, like, do you trade into these minions? Do you just play your biggest thing? Do you try and search with Primordial Explorer? Because with Varanus, if like a risky skipper turn does come out, it's very likely to survive. And then if your opponent didn't gain a critical mass of armor, then you still might be able to hit him for 7 and get the job done. So I like the trades over the 1/1s and push 5 to face. Oof. Blood Boil Brute. I mean, that's a VT over the Varanus any day of the week.
Right, but you're going down to 8 life, and then when you go down to 8 life, you're looking at 5 on the other side. It feels so easy to die.
True.
Is there a lackey that can change things?
You can get
What now?
A taunt lackey.
a taunt lackey, yes.
I like it.
So I feel like this attack is always happening in the face stalker.
Right.
Yep. Faceless lackey. Battle Rage looking for Skipper. He found the Skipper.
He finds it.
But does he have enough time?
Yes. So I don't know actually.
Your flaws.
Wait, is how much armor do you think? It's 4 more armor from this? No, 8 more armor. So he's at 18.
Yikes.
And Monsanto has 12. So if he trackings into a kill command, he still wouldn't have enough. And he needs to kill off these armor smiths because they are high priority. Otherwise, this will be a big punish. Corrosive Breath kind of splits the difference between kill command and having to swing into both these armor smiths. So that looks already more appetizing to me. He also has the Primordial Explorer, so he does have Guaranteed Dragon in hand compared to the previous game. So Corrosive Breath. Guess you could also just full develop here. Your opponent's kind of demonstrated that they don't have an easy time answering these bigger boards.
Yeah. Oh, well. Onyxia is just reload in case his board dies. I guess big ol' whelp, he just wants to get closer to burn damage.
Oh.
Yeah, I honestly think this has to happen. He needs to protect his board.
Wow. I was really not expecting that one.
Well, isolating the risky skipper at 1 health is not that big of a deal because it'll just die after once.
I guess what I meant was like I just didn't really expect him to trade into the armor smith with the Varanus. Kind of thought that would go face just because so much damage.
Yeah. He's playing the long game now. Battle Rages are gone, so Gallon's just working with what he's working with. And he knew that the risky skipper came off the top. And that because he was searching so aggressively with Battle Rages that there's no anchor, so he's just hoping that whatever Gallon has is not that great. So, you know, the play that lets him kill both of these is like Boil Brute plus Bloodsworn Mercenary. Which is both of them die, so you're giving him complete board presence.
Right. The alternative is just to. Well, there's not really.
Oh, only one dies. Sorry, only one dies. Yeah.
No, he found the right. You were yes. Right in your assumption, but Gallon found a way to squeeze out this extra life, which is really big.
Yep.
It's a good spot. Monsanto with that big old whelp. Although I do kind of wonder what the game would look like if he had the Onyxia as well. I think that's one that you could debate back and forth, but he was limited on time.
Yeah.
Explosive Trap. The thing is, Gallon knows what secret that is because of the open deck lists.
Yeah. But at the same time, is there a way that he can really play around it? I don't know.
Yeah. So this Fell Wing, and he comes down and swings at the 6/1 Brute. This is where the Evasive Worm is going to be super painful for Monsanto. Oh my.
Well, he only kills one of them.
Right.
Unless he can somehow get... he can get Direwolf Alpha, Bluegill Warrior.
Well, Evasive Worm guarantees kills the big ol' whelp.
Yep.
Okay, that's just stats. I wonder if Gallon wants to just play the Serpent Egg just to get onto the board, as opposed to armor up. Looks like he's not confident he's going to be able to spend his mana every turn, so he's just going to forego development. Serpent Egg doesn't really do much except play around Rotnest Drake, which enters the hand, but Monsanto doesn't have the dragon, so there's no dragon battle cry. Rotnest Drake, if you're holding a dragon, destroy a random enemy minion. So Monsanto has to clear the board. Oh, this feels awful. What is happening? Monsanto was the one pushing damage to face, and now Gallon's found a tempo plan through through the Evasive Worm that was created off a Draconic Lackey, which was in a situation where Gallon was trading down to 8 life with his Live Wire Lance in an act of desperation. How did it come to this? It was all that one Risky Skipper top deck from Gallon that helped give him that extra life to stave off dying, and then Monsanto had to start clearing the board.
So, yeah, I just like playing literally every card here and hitting face. Dump your hand and go face.
The fires of vengeance burn bright.
You dump your hand and go face, even if Gallon makes every efficient trade, then you still are a kill command out, lethal out. Because you would have pushed 8, put him down to 10, and even if he had killed everything, you still leave a phase stalker on board. So that's 7. He armors up 5 for the hero power. That's assuming he doesn't play a taunt or plays armor smith with his trades.
Nobody loots these ruins but me.
I did the math. I think it was good.
He did the math. And now Gallon is going to press in here. He's kind of anticipating his Rotnest Drake, or the Rotnest Drake to trade into the Frothing Berserker. Corrosive Breath off the top helps Monsanto avoid taking this potentially lethal damage. Can swing one more time, but he's got to trade into this Frothing Berserker. Now Gallon's on a draw to win the game. Just needs a weapon off the top of his deck, and that will be that. Monsanto thinking about this last Phase Stalker. It is a kill command activator.
He ain't getting there.
Anchor.
That'll do it.
Super close. Game 1 back and forth. Gallon off to the right foot. And last hero standing, that first victory is massive. And Gallon now can potentially rewrite history with his second chance against Monsanto. Very close game. Tight and back and forth, and I enjoyed that one.
It's exactly how this series started the first time around. They queued Warrior Hunter in game 1. The Hunter was a draw away from lethal, which it was just Monsanto's draw away from lethal this turn. Or
right.
last series. This series, it was just Gallon trying to go for a draw to stave off lethal. Because if he doesn't pick up Armor Smith in that situation, he's dead. Or sorry, Risky Skipper. He's dead. So, very similar to how the last series started. We'll see if it pans out the same way in a 3-2 victory for Monsanto. We'll see.
I should say that there is one class that Dragon Hunter seems to noticeably struggle against, and it is Warrior. Against the other classes, there's it depends on the archetype, and otherwise it's kind of even. But against Warrior in particular, it's always felt like the case that Warriors had Hunter's number. There's been a few times where mid-range Hunter seems to overpower the Warrior, but for the most part, it is pretty much Warriors' game to lose. So if Monsanto was able to get that win, that would have been a sizable upset. But now we go into the second game, and just like you said, TJ, we've seen this position before. And now we see the Highlander Rogue from Monsanto.
Yep, and this is a good cue for Monsanto, as I think this is the best matchup he has left, honestly. Warrior kind of farms his lineup a little bit. Warrior and Rogue have been floating around a 50% win rate. Over all 3 regions this weekend, there's been 50 games played of Warrior versus Rogue, and Warrior has won 26 of them, so very slightly over 50%. Now, granted, there's been a lot of different Warrior decks and also a lot of different Rogue decks. We've seen a good mix of control and this no hand / bomb / tempo. We also saw in Europe Yarla's beast of a Warrior deck that I don't even know how to classify.
Beast Warrior?
No, it was a beast of a Warrior deck. I couldn't even come up with an archetype for it. It literally had pieces of everything. It had bombs, but it also had Brawls and Plague of Wraths and Bladestorm. But it also had eggs and Terran and whatnot. I don't know. It was a
Supreme
mess.
Warrior.
Yeah,
It's got all the
Warrior.
toppings. You know what? I want to order some pizza for dinner later tonight. I'm always thinking about, Hearthstone optimization, but lately I've been thinking about my food optimization, TJ. And pizza sounds great.
Welcome to my entire existence.
Getting the right 30 cards and getting the right 3 toppings.
Yep.
The TJ experience in a nutshell.
In the other order. Well, Frothin' Berserker's interesting. Monsanto's playing Highlander Rogue, so it's not as vulnerable to Seal Fate.
Right.
And if Monsanto plays anything here that just sits on board, it means
Your wish is my suggestion.
this Frothin' Berserker could get pretty big because the Warmaw Challenger is going to
Right.
start smacking it.
Right. Now you can Vendetta, though.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. And Elemental, good card.
Against Warrior in particular, yes. It is
Warrior and
fantastic.
Demon Hunter.
And Demon Hunter. This is definitely an interesting debate here, and I think it can go either way. If you choose Livewire Lands versus Warmaw Challenger, I guess the debate would be, what does your opponent play on the turn 4, and it's most likely Water Elemental? And so if you know Water Elemental is coming out, maybe you get the swings out before it becomes relevant.
Yeah. Or Dan, the Zephyrus Classic, Defender of Argus. Zephyrus loves Defender of Argus.
There wasn't, yeah. There was an alternative too if you didn't find this Water Elemental, but it ends up being just a really nice card here that Gallon might have to remove with Korkon Elite. How does Wormmaw Challenger interact with Water Elemental?
It keeps attacking even after it's frozen.
Wow. Truly to the death.
It really will attack until one of them dies, regardless of like its ailments.
Right. It will find a way.
It will find a way.
That's scary. That's like a horror film. If Hearthstone were to create, Halloween-themed horror, like Wormmaw Challenger Massacre.
It actually answered the Water Elemental there instead of the Korkon Elite.
Yeah.
It has 10 health. He attacked once. He plays Warmaw Challenger. It would have 1-for-1 traded just like Korkon Elite, and he actually would have had an extra mana to play like Draconic Lackey or something and be able to hold on to Korkon Elite.
Yeah, but then you don't have a Warmaw Challenger on board.
But you have a Korkon Elite in hand.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have the Warmaw Challenger on board.
Dan, you drive a hard bargain. You're making some great points here.
Thank you.
I just don't know where to go with it.
Well, it seems like Gallon is in a similar predicament. He's not exactly sure how to go about this turn. There's a lot of options, but none of them seem particularly good. And the problem is, he doesn't know what secret it is. If it's ambush, then this Warmaul Challenger walks into a trap, and then he wouldn't have Warmaul Challenger.
And then how could he even win? How could he even ever fathom winning without a Warmaul Challenger?
I don't know. I ask myself that question all the time. Monsanto picks up Shadow Step. That is awful. What the heck? That is so bad. The Shadow Step has nothing to target that's useful. And Monsanto can at best buy a little bit of tempo through ambush and sap. And that's a very expensive turn, because sap is one of his best tools at handling some of these insane big buff boards, right? If Gallon ends up going for Rampage and Bloodsworn Mercenary, sap is one way to cut through that.
And he's 3 turns away from Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. So at least there's no Warmaul Challenger on board.
Yeah, and I agree with this sap. You're going to fall too far behind the board if you don't end up dealing with this dragon. And that will do it. What a pathetic turn from Monsanto. Not because of his skill or anything about that, but just that was just one of the worst turns you could possibly get.
Yeah.
You were just a bird.
Ooh! Bamboozle, it's still gonna fight it to the death.
Now he doesn't have a Warmaul Challenger on board. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's a good 4-drop.
Oh, wow. Gallon thought this was dirty tactics.
Tricks.
Dirty tricks. Same difference. Rogue and their dirty tactics.
Well,
That was a huge mistake from Gallon. That's costly. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my.
Oh.
He draws the Siamat.
these are wonderful draws.
Well, now this ends up being great. Gallon effectively just wastes his entire turn.
I wonder.
And now had to make a small pivot to play the Serpent Egg, and now Monsanto can grab an enormous amount of tempo. I'm actually thinking about Rush and Wind Fury here.
Ah, that would allow him to push additional damage.
Divine Shield, Wind Fury, perhaps?
Divine Shield taunt, perhaps?
Choose soon.
Divine Shield, Rush, perhaps? Did we cover everything? We did. We're so good at our jobs.
Divine Shield.
I vote for that.
Okay.
Oh,
we're in agreement.
Gal's in trouble, and we could just be seeing a repeat of the previous series where Gallon drops this warrior against the rogue, and he doesn't have an answer to the druid. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Really bad. Oh no, Gallon, what do you do? What
Granted,
do you do?
Monsanto currently doesn't have a great play slated for turn 8.
Wow, he is saying, I hope I draw a risky skipper and you don't do anything. And Monsanto...
Oh. That's pretty good.
That is really good. He found a rush minion, he has an ambush. He's thinking very briefly about whether or not he wants to utilize his Shadow Step this turn. I don't think there's any merit to it.
I will agree with you on that.
I actually, the best use of Shadow Step would legitimately be on the Restless Mummy.
No tomb can hold me.
Yeah, because if you Shadow Step it back, it sort of regains its reborn.
Yeah, I like it. There we go. I really like watching Monsanto play because he always finds these ways to optimize.
Yeah.
And I think it's really smart. I would have considered the ambush here too, but you know, he doesn't really need it. Oh wait, hold on.
Gallon does this like it feels like every game on Warrior. Right when he's about to die, he draws Risky Skipper. It's still not that powerful of a turn.
Yeah, it's something. I guess does he want to battle rage this? I guess this is more guaranteed if he goes for the Frothing Berserker.
I think if he battle rages, he just dies. Like if he doesn't play the third minion, he dies.
Right. Well, I was thinking if he drew like a Sky Raider, like it's a desperate situation, but
yeah, because now he knows there's a Restless Mummy in the hand. Monsanto's just going to clean up the board, then his battle rage is stranded.
Right,
So-
and Monsanto knows that there's a Twilight Drake.
Yeah. So. Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Wow. Oh,
That's good.
Okay.
That's
Order
good.
actually does matter here, by the way. He can't play Craze Netherwing if... Well, he won't get the Battle Cry if he plays Zerafu.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess he doesn't care about that because he's just so far ahead. And Gallon is going to concede.
Yep. All right. Well, again, going kind of similar. Actually, no, Monsanto had. I can't remember how the first one went, but they went to game 5, and that's what matters. Takes one with
Right.
Rogue, eliminates Gallon's Warrior.
Right.
So
and
no
then
one will be able to play that.
Gallon played Demon Hunter.
Demon Hunter, and Demon Hunter beat the Rogue.
Right, and then the Demon Hunter lost to the Druid, and then his Rogue lost to the Druid. So
Yeah.
that was
Alright.
the order of the previous series. As I slowly fade into nothingness. Remember me, TJ.
What's even happening?
I'm just being deleted. I made too many jokes about Hanar and snapping me out of existence.
Hold on, 1 sec. I'm gonna hack into the
TJ, I don't
mainframe.
feel so good.
Okay, you should be back in a couple seconds.
Okay. Could you help me download some RAM?
Yeah, download some RAM onto your
Great, thank you.
hard drive. All right, here we
Jokes on
go.
you, I deleted my hard drive long ago. Along with System 32 files. All right, game number 3. Let's get into it. Gallon. Ooh, with a very unfortunate mulligan. That is brutal. Skull of Gul'dan trapped by the Kale Thos. That can all turn around if he finds a Twin Slice. Oh. Does he want to use Immolation Aura here?
Probably. Oh my gosh, this is going to be awkward.
Yeah.
Job's done.
Yeah, this is when the All-Star team has too many heavy hitters that all want to bat clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm Monsanto, I'm looking at this curve and I'm thinking, wow, I have this Faceless Corruptor to shield the Galakron. It's going to look real good, so how can I best get to that point? Okay. Okay, we kind of have ourselves an interesting game here now. It still needs to shape up a little differently here so that both players have So like Gallon can have like a fighting chance. Before it looked like his hand was panning out in a very bad way.
It's still going to take some time to get going, but the one thing that he has going for him, is that Rogue goes slow, relatively slow, the Highlander Rogue. So, you know, he's got some time. This is the exact same board he had last game. And he just held it here for a long time. Might as well dump a card, stop some damage. Alright, it's time for Monsanto to giddy up. Start making plays, making moves.
Yeah. Moves.
Make some waves in this game.
Okay. It's the Akama. He's been holding on to his stealth attacks for quite some time, and it did cost him a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
Now he has the Immolation Aura into the I-Beam and shuts off a Faceless Corruptor. And there's nothing for a Waste Warden to attack into. This is a great sequence here for Gallon.
Yep, and continues to just chip away.
You know, I'm feeling Gallon can do this. Before his hand was looking kind of awkward, but now he's looking solid. And Monsanto's kind of have that awkward hand now, even though he had a good curve. Yeah, Waste Warden finding a 3/3 with no Battle Cry effect. Waste Warden targets a minion and deals 3 damage to it, and then it also deals damage to every single tribe or every card that shares a tribe with it. So if you target a Murloc, for example, it'll deal 3 damage to every Murloc. So Waste Warden is a very effective hate card on demons, on Murlocs, on totems. Oh, interesting. Gallon doing a Skull Gul'dan just raw on 6 with no outcast.
What? So Monsanto just plays a Waste Warden, a 5-man 3/3, and then Gallon plays
The raw.
I guess
gold
it's still a
Skull Gul'dan.
Nourish. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still a Nourish.
I wonder.
Drawing 3 cards is still very good. And when you have Kael'thas and you draw like another Twin Slice, it doesn't matter if they cost 0 with Skull Gul'dan, right?
Yep. Monsanto needs to get going because he has not put on much pressure, and that is the only way he's going to be able to win this game.
Right. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Gallon sets up a 3-turn lethal.
Oh, the taunt is a problem. He doesn't have the silence or
impatient.
Kane here.
He has the Metamorphosis.
Okay. So we could Hero Power, Metamorphosis, Hero Power, and then hit face for 1.
He also could Chaos Strike Spectral Sight first, see what happens. And then,
Well, he would have to play whatever card he draws from Chaos Strike first.
oh, you're right. Yes.
Burn away to ash.
So it looks like he is going for the Metamorphosis line. I like this the most.
Complete.
Stabilizes on the board just a little bit. He would, of course, love to Metamorphosis the face, but he needs to stabilize the amount of damage coming in first, and Monsanto's going to try to add as much pressure as he can. A Titanic Lackey, low-key, being super valuable here.
And crucially, that's his second Invoke. So the Galakrond that he has that he drew this turn is now a 2-card Galakrond.
Okay. We're looking at an Altruist potential here for Gallon. Kane Sunfury.
Ooh, no more Altruist potential. He could get 2 Altruist Whirlwinds. He also has no card draw left. outside of Chaos Strike Spectral sites, but they can't be played for like full effect, or Spectral Sight can't be played for its full effect. And if he does those things, then he's just like trading down onto the board. It's getting quite awkward. He needs to find Second Skull. Needs to find some additional things that he can dump for cheap with Altruis, or to actually fully go off with Kel'Thas.
Yeah, maybe it's like a full card dump on the right-hand side of your hand. Like, you have Kayn and Blood Mage Thanos, you play both. Oh, no, but then you can't hero power the
yeah,
Faceless
it's awkward.
Corruptor. Ah, that's so poor. Okay, so maybe just drop the Kayn Sunfury.
Just drop the Kayn.
And then you hopefully go for the Altruis next turn.
I think he's got to trade down, honestly.
Really? Oh man, to stop the easy, convenient trade in, I guess? Or no, he stops the immediate high spare and toggle opportunity.
Yeah, it's
But
not
he
a big
knows that
deal.
there's another lackey in hand, so if he drew it from the Galakron, he'd still be able to get it. Wow, Monsanto might be able to flip this around now.
Oh,
Flick.
Oh, good, not good. Flick's just good because it allows him to kill this Kayn and develop for free.
Right.
Also allows him to push the 5 instead of having to trade into it if he's worried about the damage.
What about?
Problem that I see is just it's not furthering his game plan much.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Actually, Evasive Draconid might be better than Dragon Queen Alexstrasza.
I think so. Yeah.
Your opponent just played Kayn, which means that he can't get through the taunts, and if you play Evasive Draconid, it can't get targeted by Consume Magic, which means that it's immune to the silence, and looks like Monsanto agrees.
Mwah, beautiful.
And I think Gallon has to go now with the Altruis. I don't think he can wait any longer.
Yep.
The tricky thing is Consume Magic draws a card. So if he draws a expensive card, I don't know how many more expensive cards he has.
Skull of Gul'dan. Yep, that's it.
Wow.
Let's pack it up here.
Wow, that is so bad. He only has 2 more activations out to Zephyrus.
Yep, and he's nearly dead on board, so...
Yeah. Oh, geez. GG. That's it. He's dead.
Yep.
Demons?
He's going to see what ends up happening, but that was a very sad Altruis turn, and that will do it. Monsanto closes out Game 3. And this time, history hasn't repeated itself. Instead, Monsanto's up 2-1. Now Gallon, it's up to him to win 2 games against Monsanto, who looks like he has all the momentum.
Yeah, and the last deck for Gallon will be his own Highlander Rogue. So we will see a Highlander Rogue mirror matchup.
Those are always fun. The deck lists do have some differences. We saw that Waste Warden, for example, but Gallon has like that Bone Wraith to help add an extra layer of taunts. Also, we see the Underbelly Fence package alongside Akama and some stealth stuff, and it seemed like Gallon favored a little bit more traditional stuff while having tech against the Demon Hunter with the form of Frozen Shadow Weaver and whatnot. So pretty interesting stuff coming out from both these players. And I think for Monsanto, he is playing with house money right now because he has a very good matchup for Game 5 if needed, but he could close it out right here in Game 4.
He could. And Waste Warden seems fantastic to clear up.
You know what this means. That if Monsanto wins this series, that means Druid hasn't lost a single time today outside of the one mirror match to itself.
Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. That was terrible.
Once more, but with feeling.
That's incredible. Yeah.
What? Are you doing your own call and response now? I love it, TJ. Never change.
It's been like I'll let people. Yeah, I'll let people into the little secret. That's not so much a secret. So with Grandmasters, each broadcast starts after the previous regions. So APAC is the only one with the scheduled time. Europe starts immediately after that. America starts immediately after that. So Dan and I just naturally have to make sure that we are ready and in place in case there's 3-0s, very fast 3-0s from both
I've been ready
regions.
since 8 a.m. to
8 a.m.
It's been 12 hours of waiting.
We just have to make sure that we're here on standby in case everything goes fast. So.
Right.
And now it is 8:15 p.m.
Yes.
So many options.
The cards are blending together. I don't know who I am anymore.
Your wish is my suggestion.
Whoa!
Even Monsanto looks confused.
Powered shield?
What are these?
Powered shield? Yes. Stop the backstab. What? Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how Zephyrus offers Powered Shield a lot of times, and so imagine if it offered him Inner Rage.
All right.
It's like Zephyrus use trolling.
Yeah.
I don't know. At that point, I don't even understand how this AI is coded at that point anymore. I'm still wondering about that Inner Rage.
Yeah.
That was peculiar.
That was a weird one. So. If Gallon, I didn't get to see exactly what they threw away in the mulligans. If Monsanto kept one card and it was like Shadow Jeweler, this is the play that counters that as much as possible. If he passes turn 1, Shadow Jeweler comes down turn 2, he has no answer. I don't know.
I never lie, but I never tell the truth.
So interesting.
So many.
This feels like a bluff from Gallon. He's just kind of like, I'm just gonna improvise tempo as I go, because he doesn't have secrets to back this up.
Nope.
And
I'm calling
Monsanto's
his bluff.
like,
I'm playing my own Shadow Jeweler. I'm calling him. He can also play it and then step it. That's bad. Don't do that.
that's. I don't think this is not.
That's terrible.
Yeah. This isn't Sonya Shadow Dancer in Quest Rogue. Wow, all these secrets. Gallon can kill it with backstab and praise Galakron. This is an unusual game. And now Monsanto's gamble is not paid off. He should have shadow stepped it. Nah, he shouldn't have. But
he just
imagine
shouldn't have
if he
played
did.
it if he's worried about that. It needed a very specific answer, right? And that was the very specific answer.
It was backstab plus change, but
yeah.
this is awkward. Every time I say that about Monsanto, he ends up winning the game. So I'm pretty sure Monsanto wins game 4.
Yeah.
But this is awkward for Monsanto.
Home in the shadows.
Okay, so there's 3 rogue secrets introduced with Ashes of Outland, and none of them involve attacking the face. So Alan has a clean 2 right now. What he is worried about is ambush. So if he plays a minion and a 2/3 poisonous minion appears on the other side, what does he do? In that case, he would attack with the Hanar since there's no secret. Sees nothing. And now he's narrowed it down to either Dirty Tricks or Baboozle. Oh, great draw here from Monsanto. And now he's kind of confirmed that Gallon's just playing a straight-up tempo game and there's no actual secrets to be worried about.
Yep. Until now.
Wow. Dirty Tricks activates the Dirty Tricks.
It wasn't a bluff after all, Dan. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Pack Tactics. Noble Sacrifice and Vaporize. I think Pack Tactics is really nasty here, because then it summons a copy of his Hanar.
And then he can stun her.
Ooh. Oh, wait, yeah. So... hold on. This is actually really interesting because of the Mana Saber right now. Yeah, so you take this, and then you attack with the Mana Saber, and then you get the Noble Sacrifice, and you get another secret. I thought this game would go long, but it looks like it might end really soon, DJ.
Yeah, he's just gonna end it. Monsanto doesn't even have like many plays next turn outside of a massive Edwin.
Okay, he can Kobold, Shadow Step Kobold. You know, the thing is, does he read Pack Tactics? I don't think it's something that's reasonable. Right? You can assume like Snake Trap, Freezing Trap.
He can Shadow Step to play around Pack Tactics.
Right.
So he just checked for Snipe, Ambush, Repentance. Oh my gosh, Dan, there's too many secrets now.
Yeah,
Right,
wait, he should just use
Waste Pressure
Warden
Plate, Never Surrender.
He should use the Waste Warden to
Tricks.
shoot the secrets, TJ.
How much health do secrets have? Do they have more than 3 health?
I don't know. It's a mystery. It's a question mark. But in all seriousness, there's some people who might think we're actually being serious. Monsanto's in a terrible spot. And if he ends up going for this Lackey, he's successfully played around Pack Tactics. And now he can play Edwin Van Cleef. Problem is, attacking with this 4-1 is potentially disastrous. But not attacking is also kind of disastrous. Oh no. Gallon has... Does he have a way to actually answer this Van Cleef?
Ignore it.
Okay. He has Titanic Lackey and Heistbearing Togwaggle this turn because he has 7 mana crystals thanks to the Mana Saber.
Yeah, and he still has Pack Tactics and Noble Sacrifice as his secrets.
Yes. So if you Pack Tactics the Mana Saber, it doesn't have Stealth, right? Because it's a 3/3 copy. That's right.
Yeah, it's a 3/3 copy, but in this instance it would have Taunt.
Right, which is also very convenient. The Wasp dies, and now Monsanto needs to draw off the top, finds a Blackjack Stunner, so now he can... Well, okay. Looks like
play Galakron.
He's going to play Galakron. I thought that he was going to try to fight back with Tempo there, but I guess it makes sense given that he'd be floating 4 mana, so this is the only thing. Wow, he finds Sap anyways! Does that matter?
He was probably hoping for something more impactful, like a free Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. I mean, he could sap and then push 12. He could actually sap and then push 16 and force Gallon to deal with his Edwin.
I like that. Assuming that he plays around the secret, and assuming that it's not I4-9. Wait, he also just put more power onto the board. Oh wait, but he's gonna activate Noble Sacrifice. Knows that's not eye for an eye. So 12 goes to the face, right?
I thought 14 was going to the face. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, that's so painful to see.
I felt real physical pain at that.
Okay. Let's think. So we can throw this Wondrous Wand first, right? We can cast it. Oh, baby.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the good stuff right there.
Long live the Queen. Dragon Queen Alexstrasza comes onto the board and puts 2 meaty dragons in the hand. In fact, he could just straight up remove Edwin now. Because he has spell damage.
You might as well just freeze it.
So many options.
Okay, yeah, you have enough board space for it.
Yeah.
Choose soon.
Okay, we're definitely playing the dragons though, right? Unless, is there any reason to not play it? Are you afraid of Zephyrus? Oh, he's afraid of Zephyrus clears?
Yeah, also, the Squall Hunter maybe doesn't want to overload himself.
Right. So then wouldn't you want to play Nidhogg anyways, so that way you can summon stuff if they end up playing like a brawl off the Zephyrus? And now Monsanto is in Trub. The good news, though, is that he can deal 3 damage to every dragon on the field. It's not really good news, now that I think about it, since it doesn't do much.
Yeah, the eggs from Nidhogg they have no tribe.
They are the dairy tribe.
Dairy? They're from cows?
I don't know.
Cows lay eggs?
I don't know, TJ.
You could bamboozle Blackjack Stunner the Dragon Queen Alcatraz and then it's unplayable.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a line that I would consider here. Blackjack Stunner is important to establish some kind of way to fight back. With 10 power on the board plus the Eviscerate though, that is lethal, and Gallon knows that there's no way to play around it. And with the Squall Hunter being 0 cost, gives that extra spell damage. But again, he didn't need it. He always had it through the form of the dagger. So that's going to do it. Tie series going to Game 5. And all of our shenanigans has led us to the final game of this series. And the winner is...
us!
Gallon, who goes stealth for 1 turn.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, so it is going to come down to, as it did in their first matchup, the Druid versus the Rogue.
That's right. And I think it's going to be tough for the Rogue to get the win because the Druid's been doing a great job building up the board. And it doesn't really seem like there's much for the Rogue to counterplay it outside of Zephyrus. But we've seen early game tempo starts. This is a match that actually, again, TJ and I played probably the most games of this matchup specifically during our playtests. And it seemed like Druid just won most games. So I'm willing to keep an open mind about it. I think the key difference was that we weren't playing Highlander variants, so I didn't have the Zephyrus opportunities to swing the board. And there could be something there that we're not thinking about. But alternatively, I did have 4-mana draw Galakron turns. And that ended up being a factor in a couple of games that we played.
Yeah.
And you don't really get that with Highlander Rogue.
No, and we talked about it earlier. Zephyrus can sometimes be awkward to use against Spell Druid boards because it oftentimes doesn't offer you a clean way to clear. It just offers you additional options.
Ooh.
That is a decent opening.
What is happening? These hands are insane.
Well, Monsanto needs something else with the hand.
This is Zephyrus, right?
What are you looking for with Zephyrus? Inner Rage?
I never.
Exactly. I was thinking Powered Shield and push damage for 3.
Yeah, no, that actually, yeah. That it would have been similar to the play you made last time, but I think this one's less about like immediate tempo, more about just slowly building up your board over the first 5 turns.
God, you're such a troll. Yeah, I agree there. Wild growth into overgrowth, just a lot of growing. Monsanto's shaking his head, and I relate. His opponent has a curve, and he has a curve too, but he's gonna take a lot of punishment. Oh, and he finds a digital lackey that can find a secret.
How about a candle breath?
He's not holding a dragon, but if he plays Zephyrs, he could get Brightwing. Actually, Dragon's Horde might legitimately discover another dragon, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's called Dragon's Horde. Preparation? What?
He wants to...
Dick has
There's
like
a dragon!
Dick has like 5 spells.
Do you just want to give Druid the ability to play Kael'thas next turn?
Yeah, it has more than 5 spells. It's 1, 2, 3,
Choose suicide.
4, 5,
Oh,
6,
he's
7,
gonna
8,
do it.
9.
TJ, he's going to do it. He's sensing, by the way, that Monsanto's going to play Overgrowth, so he goes for this attack with this 3-1. I like this a lot because
Rewarded.
You know, that was rewarded. Okay.
Oh, he's a mad lad.
He's a mad lad, and finally, the prophecy from Reddit. People said this card is awful because it gives your opponent 10 mana crystals, but at the same time, there's an 8-8 on the board, and Druid's not a class well equipped to dealing with it.
He was close to 10 mana crystals anyway. He wild growth and overgrowth. He used his first 5 turns.
It. Does he have lethal right here? He has lethal because of the Zephyrs?
Alright, that'll do it.
Monsanto's like, what is this
Alright,
game?
that was sick.
Wow.
Alright, that was so sick.
Unbelievable. Gown is going to win game 5 by turn 5 and book his ticket to Sunday's top 4. There's a time for a winner's interview. Now would be the time.
I know. Oh my gosh.
How could you not be riding high after that? You just nose door moved somebody for the win on curve.
I'm sorry, I had to. I just messaged Gallon right now and said that was sick. I couldn't wait.
Wait, you didn't even ask me? We synchronized where that was sick.
Ah, sorry. I couldn't wait.
All right, I messaged him that too. Well, there's one thing.
I can't repeat what he messaged me back. He said, I think I played today really expletive excellently.
Well, I'm going to say hello to Gallon in the future because I'm pretty sure he's going to go back and watch the stream as it happens. That was awesome. Yeah. That was a great way to finish out the series after some long, grueling games back and forth. But at the end of this brawl of America's best, we have Language Hacker and Gallon. Language Hacker, again, redemption story from previous week. Week 1, he was in top 8 as a newcomer to the GM group. And he had some really unfortunate bad beats that led him bombing out in the groups. But he is back, and he got a first-place finish. And perhaps most importantly to some few, he did it in style. He was wearing a nice suit and jacket, all nice and cleaned up, excuse me. And then in the meantime, Gallon with some expletive good play today. Mm-hmm. You got to be proud of that. Although my heart does go out to Monsanto. He was so close.
Very
Two
close.
game 5s, and it just felt like it was so back and forth, and it was just within his grasp.
Yeah, it just kind of a brutal way to go out, but I did think that Monsanto, as always, played well. I feel like every time we see him, he always finds these clever little plays that always blow our minds, so I think that they both played expletive excellently. But that's tomorrow. Bloody Face will make his second top 8 appearance, second time going 6-1 in Swiss. 15-3 record total so far in 2 weeks of Grandmasters. Looking to add on to that with his first matchup against PNC tomorrow.
Yeah, PNC, a player that has represented the Americas at the Global Finals alongside Bloody Face, so it's kind of like the battle of the 2 season winners. Then now Guidan, one of the most consistent players, if not the most consistent player from Latin America over the course of the past few years. As well as Eddie, who is quite possibly alongside Purple, one of the most consistent players in the country as well. So it is going to be quite the show. So we're going to start tomorrow, same time, which is whenever Europe decides to finish their game. And it's going to be good. So it was a very long day. I got a long series of messages from Gallon. If you want me to read some of the stuff. He says that the Armor Smith play, the hold from the very first game of the day from him when he was playing against Monsanto and almost died when he was at 12 health. He said that it was correct because it was better against a wider range of possibilities. But yeah, in the end, it seemed like Gallon got the last laugh. He says, "quote I am really pumped right now." Yeah,
cool. I could tell just by his response. He responded to me very fast, and yeah, Gallon gets pumped easily when he wins Hearthstone. So
Jesus, this was a good series. I played well. I think today was a sweet day. And now he's just talking to me about if I noticed all his next level plays. And the answer is go back in the VOD and check Gallon because I don't know if I did or not. Anyways, this was really fun. I think the production crew has been at it long enough. So let's go ahead and get some final words and thoughts, DJ.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Apex starts in
a few hours.
Yeah. We've one of these days we'll get the 24 hours of Hearthstone in. It was fun. We had a lot of Highlander decks being played today, whether it was Rogue or Mage. So that means we have a lot of crazy stuff happen, and just the dominance of Druid. Wait, Druid lost. That was the first loss of Druid. Druid won every single game today except that very last one, which it lost because of I think a great spot by Gallon to play the Nuzlocke of the Timeless. So fun day. Looking forward to some more tomorrow.
That's right. So we mentioned that Group B is going to be happening, but if you missed any part of this broadcast, you can always check out the YouTube VODs, which goes live very quickly after this broadcast, as well as all the deck lists and standings and results. You can go ahead and check all that out at playhearthstone.com/esports. That's it from us today on April 24th. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back tomorrow for more Hearthstone action.
Hearthstone Grandmasters is brought to you by T-Mobile, helping you stay connected to what matters most. Learn about T-Mobile's COVID-19 response on T-Mobile.com.